Hey, hey, what up? You now entering Sports with B. Raj, baby. Got the Jay-Z rocking right now. Rock boys in the building. No, it's just B. Raj in the building. Uh, it's a classic, baby. That's a classic. We gotta get it hype. You know, Originally today, I was gonna talk about soccer and Tiger Woods. I was gonna do two shows. I was gonna do a show about Tiger Woods, him getting his stuff together, and I will save. And I was gonna talk about soccer, how Messi is just a dog right now, best in the league, no doubt about it. But then Peyton Manning came, which leads us to free agency 2012, take two, baby, and we got to break down this Peyton Manning. You know what happened? He went to the Broncos as I suspected. Now at the end there, I was thinking he might go to Tennessee to play the Colts twice a year. But then I'm like, the only wide receiver Tennessee has is Kenny Britt, and he got hurt last year. And I like Nate Washington. He's a nice piece. And then I thought, all right, San Francisco? San Francisco doesn't sound bad. You get Randy Moss, and you got Mario Manningham. You already have Crabtree, who's still trying to, develop his craft. And then it came to me, he doesn't want to play in the NFC. He's used to the AFC. And the reason why I think he didn't play in Tennessee as well, because Houston's a good team. Houston is a good team. But he signed with the Broncos, which should be an easy division to win. Which really should be an easy division to win. Because Chargers, I don't like Norv Turner. He's an awful head coach to me. Because Phillip Rivers and that team is too talented to not be going to the playoffs every year and winning that division. Kansas City, you can just get them out the picture. Raiders is up in the air right now. They're trying to turn around, the franchise organization. But he signed with Denver. And we're going to look at the pros and we're going to look at the cons here. Pros. You have a nice offensive line. Not the greatest offensive line, but a nice offensive line. You have a good coach in John Fox, who's a great defensive coach. And you got Elway, baby. 2 rings. He's going to do the best he can to get Peyton Manning to win games. To get that whole team to win games. And then you got to look at the negatives, man. You got to look at the cons. Running game. Willis McGahee is not an elite running back anymore. He did his thing. He did his things last year. He did a couple good things last year, but he's not the elite running back that he once was. The wide receiver position. And Aaron Decker and Demaryius Thomas, they nice. But who else is going to step up? Who is that third, fourth receiver you can go to? And they really have no tight ends. They really don't have a tight end. So if I'm the Broncos, you got to give Peyton. You got to get Peyton weapons, ASAP, as soon as possible. Start signing people as quickly as you can, ASAP. Get on the phone and make things happen. Big things popping, little things stopping. T.I. I'm sorry, man. I'm laying for that one. I'm not even gonna lie. But you gotta have weapons for Peyton, man. You know what? They should get Dallas Clark. He's a free agent. Get Reggie Wayne and get Joseph Adai. You got 3 main pieces that Peyton's comfortable with, and you just put them on the Broncos, really. Now, Joseph Adai, he's not a 1,000-yard rushing running back to me. He's not the most explosive running back, but he'll keep the chains going. He's a hard worker. He proved that. Won a Super Bowl with Peyton. If you get that nucleus back together, now granted, I say past their prime a little bit. They're not the same players they used to be, But if you get that nucleus intact, that offense would be pretty good. Now we have to look at the defensive side of the ball here. Like I said before, the corners and secondary of the Broncos are not that sexy to me. They're not looking that good. They're just not. That front seven, I like. I like Vince Warford. He's coming back. And you got to love Von Miller. And you can't forget about Elvis Dumervil, too. You cannot forget about Dumervil. But defensively, you got to get some corners. Champ Bailey is way past his prime. Champ Bailey is not a 99 overall player in Madden anymore. He's more like in his 80s. You know what I'm saying? He's been in the league forever. Granted, he can still play, but he's not the old Champ Bailey. And I look at this team, it's more of a mixed team. It's a nice team to me because you got your old veterans there and you got the young guns. You know what I'm saying? So it's a nice little nucleus they got going around in Denver. Now we have to look at the losers of these situations, which was San Francisco and Miami. We got to talk about Miami. I think Miami lost. And Tennessee really didn't lose to me. Tennessee was like, oh, either we get them or we don't get them. You have Matt Hasselbeck for 1 year after this year's contract expired, and then you go to the Jake Locker era, who's really one of the most, he's one of the most athletic quarterbacks, I think. Just because he's white doesn't mean he's not athletic. You should see him in Washington. The dude can scramble. The dude ran more than he passed. So watch out for Jake Locker. He's going to be ready. He's going to be ready in the next couple of years. I think so. But we have to move to Miami. Miami, man. So you telling me you still haven't found your quarterback yet? Because most likely Alex Smith is going to sign back with the 49ers. Granted, he got his feelings hurt. Oh man, I took you guys to the NFC Championship game, and it wasn't even my fault that we lost in the championship game. The punt returner fumbled twice. But man, he's Peyton Manning. I mean, you're Alex Smith. This is Peyton Manning, man. You put all your chips in and you try to get Peyton Manning. So Alex Smith, he's going to go back to the 49ers. I think so. But Miami, so you telling me you didn't get Flynn? You couldn't get Flynn? You telling me Flynn would rather play in Seattle than Miami? And quite frankly, Miami has more talent than Seattle. Granted, Seattle division is weaker. The only team you really have to watch out for is the 49ers. But you couldn't get Flynn? Either, the Packers' old offensive coordinator and Flynn didn't get along or something. Because it seemed like that they would click perfectly. They would click perfectly. The Packers' offensive coordinator and Flynn. Boom. It should be magic. But I don't know, Miami. I don't know what you guys are doing, man. Because you need a quarterback. I don't think Matt Moore is the answer. Obviously, Chad Henning's not the answer. You set your franchise back. You guys should have been having a franchise quarterback. I don't know. I don't know what you guys are doing, man. I don't know what you guys are doing. To me, you guys haven't had a franchise quarterback since Dan Marino. Really? It's been about 15 years since you had a franchise quarterback who could lead you to the playoffs consistently. Chad Penning wasn't it. Vinny Testaverde wasn't it. Dante Culpepper wasn't it. Chad Henning wasn't it. Matt Moore's not it. You got to get your franchise guy, man. You have to. And this comes back. How come you guys didn't draft Ryan Mallett last year? Yes, there was personality issues. Yes, there are personality issues. But the dude has a cannon, and you can just develop him, man. Ryan Mallett slipped to the 3rd round. You guys should have picked him up and let him get some playing time last year. Now he's in New England sitting behind Brady, which is good for Mallett. He'll learn the game more. But this leads to one question. If you're Tebow right now, How do you feel, man? How do you feel when John Elway says, I got your back 100%, son? You can count on me. And the next minute they sign Peyton Manning and whoa, new ball game, man. New ball game. Because right now you're on the trading block, son. And to me, Tebow, I like Tebow. I like Tebow. But the dude cannot throw, man. He can't throw. You're not going to win games if you can't throw. He only threw 12 touchdown passes last year. To Peyton Manning's 35? I mean, come on. You got to pick Peyton. And granted, he's old, but Peyton is still Peyton. And you can count on that. Unless you guys ponder on that. Let me get your thoughts about it. What do you think about the Peyton Manning move? What do you think about NFL free agency so far? Rock Boys in building tonight, baby. I'm out.